I think another part of it too is like I feel like a big like trend right now is like or constellation is like a lot of like this like analog like lifestyle, which is like pretty funny because it's like you're on social media talking about like an analog lifestyle. Like I know there was like a trend a couple of months ago. It was like the like what's in my like analog bag. But it's also really funny because like I was talking to a coworker about this, but it's like they're talking about like this analog lifestyle on social media, which is like kind of like defeats the purpose. But again, like to the point, like you wouldn't be able to know about the trend unless it was online. I'm going on a tangent, but I do think it's important that in terms of like hooks, you're able to find the right one, even if like someone isn't like on social media enough. Because at the end of the day, we can't control like what people, if people want to be like on social media or not. But the important thing is like how do you capture the attention of like those audiences who aren't scrolling on social media for like a long time, who are just like casually looking for like 5 minutes and like that's it, and then they don't hop on like whatever app for like 6 hours later or whatever. It's like that
Mm.
hook. Like how do you, as long as you get them in like the first 1 to 2 seconds and they stay for the rest of the video, like that's like the really like the most important part of like how we think about like which signals we find or like how to improve performance on like posts and stuff like that.
So you spoke about analog lifestyle. What exactly does that mean for the people out there that don't know and myself because I don't know?
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
That's
Analog
fine.
lifestyle is just like, I think you're trying to define it the best way, but I think it's just a way of like you trying not to be on, like trying to be online for too long. It's like more of like kind of like touching grass and just like using different forms of like entertainment that aren't related to like your phone or like technology. So it's like,
Ah,
for example, like using like
reading a book.
there you go, thank you. Yeah, reading a book, maybe even using like a old like camera, like an old school camera, like a point and click
Okay.
camera, like little stuff like that. Reading books, like drawing, painting, like those types of like entertainment instead of like
Mm,
just like constantly like doom scrolling and being on your phone for like 24/7 or it's like the antithesis or like the complete opposite of like being an iPad kid.
wow. See, I knew you was very knowledgeable. You teach me things I don't know anything about. Like I didn't know that's what it was called, like analog living.
Yeah.
But w- what specific skill set do you think a strategist would need in 2026 as we embrace interest media?
There's a lot, but like one thing that comes to mind, and I feel like this will come over time, like as you like look for like trends and stuff like that. It's like on the fly, how do you see like a format or just like really cool reels post in like the first like 10 seconds? How do you see it coming to life for like a specific brand that you work on? Um, I think I don't know if it's just because like I've been like doing this for like 4 years, but like part of me, even like when I'm scrolling like on a weekend casually, sometimes in my head, there's like a strategy part of my head where it's like I would see like a really cool post and I would think, oh yes, I could use this for the brand that I'm working on for work. And I would like what I end up doing is like slack it to myself and like remember it for like later. I think it's like that knack for like knowing like what format could possibly work for like the brand that you work on. I think is like a really, really cool skill. I say that because sometimes when we're actually looking for like signals, for example, during the workday, sometimes your feed would not give you anything. But sometimes like the best ideas, at least strategic ideas, could honestly come from like a thought in like the shower, or in this case, actually just scrolling through your phone like on the weekend. Even though you're not working, it's like sometimes like in my head for strategy, sometimes you need to like have that brain part of your brain always on to think about like if you see like a really cool post like in the wild, not at work, how could it work for your brand regardless? Or if it's cool, like how can you see this coming to life for like whatever like thing that you're working on? I feel like it's like really something that I think a lot of strategists should have.